Yo, what is going on, everybody? So, unless you've been living under a rock or not following the news, which I know a lot of you don't because mainstream media is cancer, but I still keep across it so that I can share stuff like this with you guys. I have an article here today. Donald Trump lashes out at Meghan Markle after she endorses Joe Biden. Let's check this one out, shall we? A question put to the US president was met with an extraordinary response that proves exactly where he stands on the former royals. I just want you to listen to the inflammatory language that they're using. Just be conscious of the language that they're using and the impacts of that language on people and the way that that makes you emotionally respond when you're reading these things. So just listen to that language. US President Donald Trump has slammed Meghan Markle over her support for Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. He said, "I'm not a fan of hers. And I would say this, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry because he's going to need it." Yeah, obviously he's going to need luck. I mean, he married a freaking feminist, for goodness sake, an ex-divorcee, a feminist activist, someone who openly said she wanted to use her royal platform to progress her feminist cause, someone who took him away from his family, who isolated him from his brother and father and best friend, who took him to Canada and then took him to the US so she could pursue her pursuits. Don't worry about what he wants to do in the military. Don't worry about, the status and rank that he had. Don't worry about his rifles that he had that he wanted to keep. No, got to sell those because I don't like them. Right? He's literally doing absolutely everything that she wants him to do. He's being a complete puppet. And, here's the thing. Harry's never really had a serious girlfriend that's put him through the ringer before. He's never had to deal with a feminist before. This is his first encounter, and he is being put through the meat grinder. Someone just said, "Wait, you guys still believe she's a feminist?" Yeah. Yeah, I do. She's openly said it multiple times. Here we go. She's a Los Angeles-born actor who married QE2's grandson. So, look, here we go. A heavily accented Harry 36 said, "It's time to not only reflect, but act." And this was in a video that they did, film for Time magazine, where they were effectively endorsing Joe Biden. This election, I'm not going to be able to vote here in the US, but many of you may not know that I've not been able to vote in the UK in my entire life. As we approach this November, it's vital that we reject, guys, and listen to the language. Listen to the kind of language that she's been putting in his mouth, that she's been putting in his head. Listen to the kind of compliance with her orthodoxy that he's espousing. It's vital that we reject hate speech, misinformation, and online negativity, Harry said. Meghan was more blunt. How could you be more blunt than that? She said, "We're 6 weeks out from the election, and today is voter registration day. Every 4 years, we're told the same thing. This is the most important election of our lifetime. But this one is. When we vote, our values are put into action and our voices are heard. So if enough feminists vote, then feminist values are going to be put into place." That's what you're saying. Got it. British royals traditionally do not vote in their own country's elections to demonstrate neutrality, but she's not neutral. She's a feminist activist. She's a leftist. That's all that she wants. Now, the reason that here we go. Trump said, "I'm a great admirer and friend of the Queen and the United Kingdom," Trump tweeted in March. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now they've left Canada for the US. However, the US will not pay for their security protection. They must pay. Nice one, Trumpy. But what I really wanted to address in this particular video is what's even more sinister. So she's basically realized that she's not going to have enough clout, that she's going to not have enough impact and power to be able to influence the US elections as it stands, even with her platform. So she's decided that what she's going to do is this. She's going to run for president in 2024. Oh, yes. A feminist activist president. What could possibly go wrong? What could go wrong? And it leads me back to that original question. Was Islam right about women? I'm just going to ponder on that while anyone listening to this that happens to have feminist views goes nuts. Because you can't because you got to pick one or the other. You got to be an Islamophobe or a misogynist. Pick carefully, ladies. Meghan Markle here harbors serious ambitions to run for president of the United States, according to a report. After the Duchess of Sussex and husband Prince Harry dumped royal duties with their historic Brexit this year, the 39-year-old former Suits star now has her eye on the White House, a close friend told Vanity Fair. Interesting. One of the reasons she was so keen to not give up her American citizenship was she had the option to go into politics. I think if Meghan and Harry ever gave up their titles, she would seriously consider running for president, the friend added of rumors of a 2024 run. And by the way, guys, I have an individual right now in the chat, and I don't want you to attack this person. Please don't. All right, this is a conversation to have. Who believes that feminism is gender equality with the inclusion of minor ethnic groups. Feminazi equals superiority towards male prowess because biologically is impossible. So what I'm going to do for this individual is I'm going to put a link to a video talking about the history of feminism so you can understand how racist it actually is. And the fact that you are including the lens of color into it means it's not about actual gender equality, right? This is about, this is intersectional. Intersectional feminism is not the original feminism. Intersectionality is a new concept that's been used to essentially paint everyone but the straight white male as oppressed. Because if everyone but the straight white male is the oppressed and the straight white male is the oppressor, then the collective who is not straight white men then have got justification to attack straight white men, which is what's happening right now. So it's actually incredibly divisive in its current form, which is just the fact of the matter. Now, here we go. Her biographer, Omid Scobie, also previously claimed that the former actress has her eyes set on the US presidency. Meghan is the embodiment of the American dream. I didn't know the American dream was to be a dumbass feminist. One day we may see Meghan become president, the author of Finding Freedom, Harry, Meghan, and the Making of a Royal Family, previously told a documentary, Vanity Fair said. Harry and Meghan already sparked a scandal with a video urging people to vote that heavily hinted that she was against Donald Trump. Imagine my shock. Imagine my surprise. Despite the long-standing practice for royals to remain politically neutral, which she's clearly not done. She reportedly has also been she's been cold calling Americans, urging them to vote. So cold calling Americans, saying, "Oh, it's Meghan Markle. You know, I just wanted to let you know it's so important that you vote. Oh, by the way, I hate Trump and you should vote for Biden." I can imagine that would be a summarized version of how that conversation went. And of course, they're now like, "Oh my God, the Duchess, you know, Meghan Markle, she called to speak to me personally to, you know what, I can't go against her wishes. I can't do that." Trump, here we go. I wish a lot of luck to Harry because he's going to need it, Trump said at the White House on Wednesday. Meanwhile, some royal watchers are already writing off her chances of ever surviving a brutal presidential election race. She doesn't have it in her. She runs whenever the going gets tough. She ran from the royal family. She ran from Canada, and she'll run from any other problems she has and just bury her head in a little echo chamber that she's got. You need the skin of a rhino to run for office, especially in America, which has an utterly polarized nation. Look at what happened to Hillary Clinton, and she's lived and breathed high-octane politics since college. Americans don't want lectures from Brits, royal blood or not, just as we don't want lectures from well-meaning Americans. That's right. That's right. Sydney, thank you for making this a collective thought process. Much appreciated. However, it's a shocker that that's how feminism is being defined nowadays. Yeah, look, look, if you've got Meninism and feminism, Meninism is clearly not focused on men. It's clearly not focused on women. Just like feminism, femme for female, the femma, it's not focused on men. In fact, let me share with you a little snippet that it just happened to have. You'll love this. This tells you everything you need to know. Here we are. So some of you may know Clementine Ford. Many of you will not be a fan of Clementine Ford. But I got to tell you, one thing that I don't have to like someone or agree with them to respect them. And I don't respect her completely, but there are elements of Clementine Ford that I have respect for. Now, I know you guys are going, what the hell is wrong with you, Sydney? You simping? Like, what's going on? But no, I'll share you why. Because Clementine Ford has been consistent. She has always been congruent with what she's all about. And she has always been upfront and honest about the fact that feminism is not about men. Let me share this with you.
And this is something that I don't actually often say in front of people or on panels or anything like that, and certainly not in articles anymore, because I just think it's such a massive waste of time and a distraction. And feminism is not about men, and feminism is certainly not about hating men. But when I say that it's not about hating men, I don't mean in that reassuring way, like, don't worry about it. Feminism's not really about hating men. We're not threatening to you. I mean, feminism's not about men at all. So people need to stop framing it as if somehow men's feelings are the most important part of the equation.
There it is. I'll put that link in the bottom of this video as well. Let me just pop. I'm starting to overpromise. I hope I don't underdeliver. I apologize if that happens. Adrian Robinson says, sleep deprivation makes people say crazy things like respecting Clem. No, Adrian, just to be very, very clear, I don't respect Clementine Ford as a person. I respect the fact that she's honest and consistent about what feminism is really about. And if you don't believe Clementine Ford about what feminism is really about, let me share with you another very high-profile feminist.
A man can be...
and this particular feminist, her name is Julie Bindel. Some of you may have heard of her before. Let me share this video with you of Julie telling you what feminism's about. By the way, have a quick look. Have a look at the title at the bottom. The 51% feminism is about taking power away from men. This has only got 1,693 views, and I swear about 200 of those views are from me. Guys, I'm going to put this as well in the description below. I want you to bookmark this video. Maybe even the particular point of the video at which she says that. And the way you can actually do that is by, if you're on the computer, right-click and go copy video URL at current time. So just get it to the right point. You can actually share that with people, because some people will just switch off 30 seconds in. They'll be like, see, it's about this and that. It's like, no. Let's get to the real point, which is this. Hang on, it's freezing up there. I'm just going to make sure I've got the audio shared as well so you guys can hear it.
But men have to recognize that the first step in being a feminist ally is relinquishing some of their power, because ultimately feminism is about taking that power away from men.
There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Feminism is about, not only is it not about men and not about caring about men's feelings by Clementine Ford, but it is also not, it's also about taking power away from men. So those two things, that's what you need to know about what feminism is in 2020. This is not me coming up with some conspiracy theory. This is not me going, oh, well, I don't like feminism because of some bullshit reason. It's like, no. This is feminists telling you what feminism is about. And Meghan Markle is a feminist. And she wants to take power and control away from men. She doesn't care about men's feelings. If she cared about men's feelings, she would care about the only man that should matter to her in her life which is their own husband. But she doesn't care about his either. She honestly doesn't. If she cared about that, she wouldn't have taken him away from his family when she was the one who chose to come there to begin with. Eddie says, is it a bad thing if it forces us to be more alpha? I don't know what thing it is that you're referring to. But look, I don't think it is I don't think it's a bad thing for men to be more alpha. And I'm not saying controlling, because that's not what alpha men are. Controlling men, guys who try and control everyone, just like women who try and control everyone, are usually just very afraid of, in some way, of not having any autonomy over their lives. All right, taking power from someone doesn't make you more alpha. In fact, the power, if you're genuinely an alpha male, you could be the quietest guy in the world, right? You don't need to beat your chest, but everyone knows where you stand in the dominance hierarchy. People respect you at that level. People respect alphas. They do. They respect alpha males. And the more that you can actually get an understanding of how to get ahead in your own life, the more you can grow yourself, the more you can say no when people don't have your best interests at heart, the more fit you get, the more strong you get, the more learned you get by, watching videos in the manosphere and listening to things. Shadow Sonata, you said that so well. Alpha men do not need to advertise it. Their very presence shows it without a word. Respect is commanded, not demanded. Absolutely. This is why feminists we demand respect. It's like, yeah, because you're weak. If you weren't weak, and if you were intelligent, and if you actually commanded respect by your actions and by being a leader that has the interests of more people at heart, then people would actually be like, oh, actually, you know what? I respect that. I respect that. In fact, not only do I respect it, but, I also am going to take your lead. So it's going to be real interesting. Think Before You Sleep made a good video about how dysfunctional these women are in 2020, where all these daddy issues came from. I'm going to go check that out. Guys, Think Before You Sleep is actually a really good channel. I quite like his stuff. It's balanced enough to not get demonetized yet, but it's also hilarious enough to probably be in the running for it. Anyway, guys, yeah, so Meghan Markle wants to run for president in 2024. That will be a train wreck if that happens. That'll be a really, really bad idea. Can you just imagine? It's a train wreck waiting to happen. Train wreck waiting to happen. But, Trump's going to get another 4 years. I'm calling it now. It's only they are so desperate right now. They are so desperate. Deeply, deeply desperate to get rid of Trump. They are coming up with anything they can. Anything. They don't care how ridiculous it is. This is something they came up with just in the last couple of days. Apparently now, Donald Trump gave Princess Diana the creeps with unwanted advances. Oh, 5 weeks out of an election. How funny. They couldn't have done that in the last, 3 years and 11 months or anything like that. And apparently in 1997, Trump had claimed he wished to try his luck on the Princess of Wales. I'd like to hear his words specifically. Here we go. And here we go. And Howard Stern actually prompted this. So Howard Stern said, why do people think it's egotistical of you to say you couldn't get with Lady Di? You could have got her, right? Asked Stern. So that single thing there presupposes that Trump had said he couldn't get with Lady Di, which is pedestalizing her. So wouldn't that be exactly what they'd want if that was in fact what he said? And Trump says, I think I could have, said Trump, adding that he would have first taken her for a doctor's checkup before getting intimate with her. Oh, this is why I like to do cold reads on articles so that I get the juicy bits and I actually get a real-time reaction. Chief Redbird, thank you for that super chat, brother. Says Trump 2020, MGTOW for life. And thank you, Charles Wilson, for that super chat. I appreciate you, man. He says, I've taken the red pill and I'm leaning towards MGTOW. I'm also a socialist Democrat, a veteran, a federal employee, and have taken part in a Black Lives Matter protest. You don't have to be on the right to be a MGTOW or red pilled. You know, Charles, by the way, I really respect that, because like obviously you and I have got differing political views from the sounds of that. But you know, thank you for being honest and having the integrity to come out and be like, look, this is my position. And I've taken the red pill, and you know, I don't think you need to be right wing for that. Look, I would say that my prediction would be that you'll probably become more center leaning as you become more and more red pilled, and as you become aware of more and more of what's going on, and you understand the consequences that it's having. Also, even though I'm not a US citizen, thank you for your service. You're a veteran and a federal employee. And you know, and I don't begrudge anyone's right to take part in a protest, whether it's Black Lives Matter or more of a pro-conservative protest. In fact, some people may argue that the most conservative thing you can do is protect the rights of people and the lives of people that are not as protected. I mean, that's a whole different debate. But you know, look, as long as you're peaceful in protest, I respect your right to protest 100%. And I think that people should demonstrate about the things that are important to them. A lot of people don't. I just don't think it needs to be done violently, which is what we have seen with some of those protests. The ones which aren't really about Black lives, that are really just about political power. Anyway, furthermore, Trump heaped praises on the princess's beauty, saying she was actually really beautiful. I thought she was supermodel beautiful. She had times when she didn't look great, and she had times when she looked better than anyone in the world, which is true. Avery Taylor just became a member. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but I now have a membership option. So once I have a handful of members, I'm going to start doing some members-only live streams, and I'm also going to start doing some members-only chats for more sensitive topics where I'm having a lot of trolls coming in. MGTOW Lucid Dream says, hey brother, I've seen you've uploaded Howard Dare stuff. Are you Howard? Anyways, please upload all his videos. I don't have all his videos, and I'm not Howard Dare, so I'm sorry if that's the case. Yeah, and if you guys, if you want to head over to my actual main channel page, which is youtube.com/CityMGTOW, and click join, you will be able to become a member of this YouTube channel. So I appreciate that. She had times when she didn't look great. Yeah. And he said this, I tell you what, I think she's magnificent. Lady Di was truly a woman with great beauty. I've seen her a couple of times, he said. She was really beautiful, and people don't realize how beautiful she was. She was supermodel beautiful. She had the height, she had the beauty, she had the skin, the whole thing. She was crazy, but you know, these are minor details. Maybe she was a bit crazy. But you know, he's obviously paying respect where respect's due. So this is how desperate they are to destroy Trump at the election, trying to turn women against him by saying that you know, Princess Diana had the creeps from him. It's like, dude, that was what, 1997. It's 23 years ago, guys. Like, you couldn't have come up with that in the last 4 years if you really want to try and destroy him. You're absolutely desperate. Absolutely desperate. But anyway, you know, they want to destroy Trump, and they want to replace him with people like Meghan Markle, who just want to push the feminist agenda. Guys, I'm out of here. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please share this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, interact with this post to help push it out there. Let every single person who thinks that Meghan Markle is not politically minded share this video with them so they can see that she is in fact trying to push her own agenda. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the new member. And I appreciate you guys. Peace.